So now let me start the service. Splunk start. So this is how we can use to start via command prompt. Okay. So now it is starting. If you see the local host, last time this is not running right now because I stopped the main service. Just a second, host background voice. Okay, so right now you can see this is not running as I have stopped the main core service. So in the command prompt, you have to open as an administrator and then you have to go to this path. C program files Splunk bin Splunk start. This is the command that you have to run. So this path I can copy. This is the same path you all also have, and there you can use the command Splunk start. So we are running the core process of Splunk to start, or you want to stop the service, you can use it. Okay, so this is started, and you can see in the background it is starting the HTTP port number 8000, management port is 8089, and right now it is running the main server app on localhost with the port number 8065. Okay, so this is how the background process run, and you can see the server is started. So web interface you will get in 8000, so we can go to there and refresh it. So now you can see you got this specific part. So we have used admin and then the password.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one you just showed us right now is how to run Splunk in the background. That's what you're just telling us?
Yeah, that is I am telling you. So,
okay.
Yeah, because sometimes what happens, there is a two scenarios there. Right now we are working on Windows environment, so we have graphical access. That is a part is there. But let's suppose if the Splunk is running on Linux operating server, so there we have to only do all the enabling and accessing the service from command line only. Okay.
Okay, so Linux servers is just via commands, while on Windows we can do commands and go through the browser, right?
Yeah. Same thing in Linux environment also we can do. So the interaction always we start from command line, and then we will jump to the web server. So this is a web portal which is running as a UI base.
Okay.
So the benefit is that with Splunk and similar kind of SIM tool is that they are running in a background on some server, but we can access their web portal from anywhere in the world if you have hosted or redirected the IP address on a public IP or any domain name. So you can also log in and then you can also get the access. That's how the web portal is meant in that case scenario.
All right, thank you.
Yeah. Let me just check the password. That is not taking. Can we log in with the default? One, two, three. So the dashboard is open. This is the admin account right now we have. And last time we have seen how to fetch data of our local system and then check what are the different logs it is capturing, what are the options we have. So today in the setting option, you can see we have multiple option like data input, forwarding, receiving, index. We'll go one by one, and there we have forwarder manager and that thing. But today we are taking this part, user and authentication. This thing we will cover today. How to create rules, how to manage users, what kind of tokens we have, and how the password management is work in Splunk as well as a general. That will also help us for the as a security engineer or as a security expert to follow, and then authentication methods that we can integrate with Splunk. So right now, if you see, I have normally log in as an admin. You will get like account setting to change password or to modify username. That is there. Now you will go to the setting option, then user and authentication section. Click on the user first because we will create a user. So if you see the table right now, as an admin, I am only the user that we have. And here you can click on the edit action to edit or to modify anything regarding the admin perspective. Okay, so these are the options are available. Now you can click on new user, and then you have to provide this much detail, in which if you see, you can provide the name. So let's take, I'm just taking a name as a user one. Then you can provide some hello. Then mail ID. We can also take. It's optional, but it's good to provide an email ID that will help to recover password. That thing. So we'll go and we will take from temp mail just for testing purpose. Okay, we'll copy, then paste here, and we'll provide the password. Okay. Then it is asking about the
when you go to the users, where do you click on when you go to the users, where do you click on new user?
Yes, you go to the settings. You can click on this user and authentication. Click on user. It will come something like this. Then in the right top, you will get this user creation.
Okay, thank you.
So there you need to provide the name. Then provide password. After that, you can provide the time zone, or we can go with the default one. And then this is called the launcher app. So here we need to understand in terms of administration perspective. So to a specific user, we want to give this access on Splunk. So there is it's a default studio dashboard of Splunk that can little bit modify in the Splunk dashboard. Else we will just give that particular person search and reporting access only. No other features that will get it. Or you can go to the metrics workspace. So there that particular person only open and then do the analysis about the logs, or only the monitoring console. So as a SOC level 1 analyst, your part of job is more into the monitoring console only. It can be a monitoring console or it can be a dashboard access. These three options you will get at a specific time. Okay, so let's suppose if you go to let's go with the default launcher right now. But here you can assign like a normal user, Splunk system role, or admin, and can delete. So a person which is not an admin, but they have given us some specific privilege that user can able to delete some dashboard, some data from that Splunk. So this thing is very critical. Same thing goes with the power. It's a little lower version of admin part. So mainly we go with the Splunk system role that a person can have. That's the thing. And parallelly, we can click on to create a role for that user, or I will showcase you for that part. And the last is when the user will log in, the person can create a new password. Right now, I have set it by default as admin, but as a user when I log in, so I will use this password and later I can change as per our own combination. So that is a practice we can follow, but we can say I don't want to give that access I will say that you have to just use this password only that is created by admin. So this is the thing we have done, and then you can save the detail. So here you can see the new user is added here with this part. Okay, as a system role and that thing. So the user is created, and if I go and log out from here as an admin account, or one thing I can do, I can open a new ID here. Instead of Edge browser, I am opening on Firefox, and then let's see with a new user. So I will use here user1 and the password.
So how many users can you create?
It's
As much
a
as possible?
there is a no limitation is there on creating a users. As much you want to create, you can create it. So
Okay.
here you can see as a system role, you got the access like this kind of similar dashboard like a admin. And here you can see we have login as a hello user. But
Yeah.
in the settings, you can see we have this much details like creating roles and that part, because restrictions will be assigned by the defining of roles. But you will not get the same data or content what as an admin user is doing in the background. So this is the admin access user that I have logged in on Edge browser, and the normal user I have logged in on the Firefox browser. So first thing is we have understand about creating a user, and there is a no limitation is there how many users can create. You can create more than 200 plus, but I think maybe there is some restriction. Can be maybe it is like after 500 user you can have some uh, restriction, but that is enough because for a one client project we can integrate multiple dashboards with a different scenario. So that comes into the enterprise license that is handled by the companies. How many endpoint resources that you want to monitor, what will be the access. So that is a customizable by the Splunk when organization is going for the subscription model or the license based model of Splunk. Then let's go to the roles part. So here you can see we have these are the options like admin can delete power, and this is the user roles are available. In that you can see the native capability like default and what is inherited by the other permissions and apps. So this is a default that is created. Let's create our own custom role. Okay, so let's suppose we are right now taking a training. So let's go with like some ABC role that we are in. It's a custom role. By default, we have these are the rules by the Splunk as a default. But let's go with like it will be like that thing I acknowledge. You can go to the capabilities. Now in capabilities, you can see what that user can do. If I have created ABC role, or if I assign that ABC role to a specific user, so what capabilities that user have? What instead of capabilities, you can say what kind of power the user have to perform action on the dashboard. Like it can accelerate searching, it can access the admin object, it can take a backup, or it can restore data in Splunk. It can change the authentication, it can own the password, it can delete some keyword or some important message also from the Splunk. It can edit some deployment or configuration key, some filtration part. It can check the health and multiple steps. You can see edit role, object, like everything. It can do specifically. Like these are the options are available. Okay, so you have to select one by one that is specific things only a user can assign. So here we have given lots of permission access. Correct. For the ABC rules. That is called the capability. Okay, that is the one part. Then if you go to the indexing option, so it's indexing keywords that when we do searching, it can able to check the internal part. It can able to do the auditing, or so that thing. So you can click any one like default. You can go include or not, or you can select everywhere. So that is indexing when we are searching part. And restriction, like if anybody is creating multiple files, because while creating a multiple files of the logs, it will be a huge storage is needed. Okay, and that will impact the performance of Splunk also. As let's suppose if you are collecting a log files of 300 system in a company, so 300 systems we are collecting continuous log, and that is not a small amount of logs that is coming on Splunk dashboard. So it requires more storage part. Okay, so let's suppose it is collecting a 2 GB of logs for 300 systems. So that will be like an initial approach. After 1 or 2 months, that 2 GB will become 6 GB or maybe 8 GB. Now to fetch a data from 8 GB of logs, it's high level. Like it will take require a good computing power. So we have to run the Splunk on high end configuration. We can say the system or on cloud, maybe like 64 GB RAM or 128 GB RAM. Required to run that huge amount of filtration part in terms of logs. So custom restrictions we can provide here, like something like that filtration, like on source type, host, indexing, or event part. That is the thing. And then we have what are the resources you can assign, like search limit. So in 1 minute you can able to search around 50 search, like filtering. Okay, so this limitation will help you a lot to manage multiple users. They are accessing from different time zone, different time shift. That is we have. Okay, so this is done. This we can create as a default indexing. Right now we are not providing any kind of restriction, and you can say like create a search filter to set search restrictions for this role. You can enter a valid search filter or use the search filter to generate ad query. So it's options of their perspective we have available. Right now we are not testing because we don't have the 300 employees data. We are just understanding the concept. Okay, this is all done, and then you can go acknowledge the rights, and then you can click create a new role. So the new role you can see in the above, it's got it. So here we got like inherent capabilities is there, but we didn't given any native capabilities as directly. Okay, as admin role have. So that is how one roles we have created. Now this thing can be customizable. Only the thing is that we have to go one by one and understand this native. Let me go to click edit, and here we need to see this thing capabilities, like what kind of specific content of a Splunk you want to share with your new user that person is managing. Okay, so this one by one you can explore about edit command, edit deployment or server edit, and that is a backend configuration they can do. So that is a specific part we call as a user and role management in this Splunk. So you can also try to create a new user and then assign a specific role. There you can do some restriction about like you want to note this or you want to click that. That are the things you can do. I just showcase one example, and then you can go to the settings. Click on this token option. So this token right now it is disabled. When you click on enabling a token authentication, then you can click on this new token. So here you can see you are creating a token at the backend for admin user. The audience you can say if you have user one, you can use, or what is the purpose to creating? It's just for the verification purpose you can have. So if somebody is trying to access Splunk for a specific time, that particular person need to authenticate from the admin user. Okay, so it's kind of a double verification is going on. Okay, here you can see specific timeline. If you want to give, you can give specific time. It will ask like from today till next day this authentication will work, and at that time if the user is connecting, that is good, or after a specific time it will automatically delete. So this is something like related to session management. Okay, if you see some social media website or Gmail, when you log into any new system, after some time it will automatically log out. Okay, so that is the session is created when we are logging to a new system, and that will be sustained for a specific time. And in the back end, the user in the browser, it is stored in the cookies. It's a small memory where we have the login credential details for that user. So generally, as a hacker, we will try to, credentials. Yeah. So we will try to steal this cookies stealing kind of an attack or session hijacking attack on login page or social media pages. So in the cookies, if you want to identify that a specific user is created and they have login, so with the login credential, it will also create one auth token. Now this token can be in any format, but that will be unique for each user ID. So that in the background server can identify that this specific user ID have login. The timer will be start from now, and after specific time, if user is not active, it will automatically stop the log out from that session. So that's how your social accounts or any web-based application you are using that can be secure, and your personal data should be secure. Else, what happen if you are not working on the system? Maybe somebody can also come and do some anything in your account, or maybe just log into any other system, just stealing this cookie. So that's all comes into your session management part. So that you can create here for a specific timeline, and then you can give this. So this is a strong token that Splunk is providing for one-time use if you want to use it. That is the part. Okay, so till here, any doubt?
Oh, just
Yeah.
for now, no, but just complicated. We need to go over it again, but over the video you sent.
Any doubt? Or so here in the settings, you can go to the tokens below user, and after that you can click on the new token to create. So anytime whichever user you want to create for a specific perspective, you can create, and there is no limitation is there, that thing. So
I didn't quite understand the place of the cookies. I didn't know how and where the cookies came from.
cookies not came from here. Cookies is a general overview I have given for any web portal access when you are logging. If you are logging to LinkedIn ID, if you are logging to Facebook, if you are logging to Google, so cookies are maintained in the backend, and from there you can store data actually. So let's suppose you are accessing any website where we have some login credential related content, or we can take a reference example of your, if you are doing some anything related to online banking. Okay, so in online banking we have to provide the user credentials. Now this user credentials can be your username and password, or it can be email ID and the password. Okay, so when you are putting this information, this thing it will be stored in cookies. That is called the small memory. It is stored in your browser side.
So is it the same way like when you access some website, they will be saying, click OK,
Yeah.
that this website use cookies.
Cookies. So in that cookies, yeah, that
And
is
then
the
some
content.
website, you have to click on OK before
Yeah.
they will send, like before you can be able to access that website.
Correct, 100%. That is actually cookie is. So this website is telling you in advance that they are using your browser cookies to check that from which location you are accessing the website, and it can access your user ID or user details. So they are informing you in advance. Some website will not inform you, and they will track your user login access, like from which location, from which ID you have login, how many users we are accessing. So that is how this cookies actually work. So that is the same thing. Yeah.
Is it safe?
Yeah, it is safe. It is safe totally. But in the background, we need to check that this website is telling you that we are using your cookies. Just accept all the permission. That is a good practice in terms of website security standards. But
Okay.
in the background, we need to check that how effectively they are managing their session management. Because
Thank you.
what actually happened, we are accept the cookies. That's not an issue. It's just a part of default procedure we are following. But some website, if the developer didn't created a good login page and the management is not going properly, so there is a chance that as a hacker, I can perform session hijacking attack. So in session hijacking attack, what actually happened that at your browser, your login ID is already going on. You are accessing your social media account or you're doing some banking related transaction. But at the same time, I can able to perform some cookie stealing attack and I can capture the cookies. And what actually happened with that cookies, we have the username and password information. And at the
Mhm.
same time, parallelly in another laptop, I can also log in with the same account.
Mm.
So that is what is stand for session hijacking attack. So you are doing your part of work as a normal user, but at the same time, your ID is also logged in another computer. And at that time, a hacker can do some transaction, can perform any illegal activity in your account, and you don't know that something is gonna
Okay.
happen. So this is not your side of fault because you are using a strong password
Mm-hmm.
to secure your account, but this is a fault by the developers who have not properly
Yes,
developer
config.
fault. So they are
Okay.
not properly configuring or managing the session. So at that time, this authentication code help you a lot to verify double one time. First, authentication is done by username and password. Second, maybe it can ask some security question or a captcha value to verify as a human, and then it will ask some verification code. It can be one-time password. It can be authentication code that will comes to your mobile as a SMS or on email ID. You will get some 6 digit or 4 digit code.
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm.
So
Thank
that
you.
is how this whole infra of the login part is work. This is the one type of attack we perform to compromise or do check. So as a pen tester, I am doing this part of do as a hacking perspective. So they are actually this whole story step. So Splunk have that flexibility. Of course, that is how token validation is happen. That is a second level of authentication it's providing for each user when they log in. And of course, this token is also not used for a longer time period. It will be used one, and then we can delete it again. We can provide a new token. So that is a good practice in terms of management of users. Okay, so if you want to explore, you can go to on YouTube. You will just search session hijacking attack or session management security. You will also learn a little bit more. Okay, so yeah, that is mainly happen with the web related applications where there some users or login ID we have to provide. Yeah.
Thank you.
So jumping to the password management, that is the fourth option we have in this part. So let's go. Now this is a policy. Okay, before jumping here, let's understand password management in a general overview. So like how you can make a strong password. That is a question comes. So maybe you're using some password for social media. Maybe you're using some password for your email IDs. So how you can say that this password is a strong password or whichever you're using, so that password is a good password. Okay, so as per you, which is the strong password that you can
Yeah.
okay, so
The last one can be a strong password.
yeah, so as per the this example we can see the last will be the strongest password and it will take more time to crack. Okay, as a hacker perspective, the reason is that we have used some of the things. The first is the
The cap-
alphanumeric content,
yeah.
that is small letters and capital letters, E to
Mhm.
Z, and then 0 to 9. So all that comes into the A to Z combination, capital A to Z, and then 0 to 9 is alphanumeric contains. And then we are using the specific symbols. And also don't repeat same character.
Oh, okay.
Okay, continuously. So what actually happen if you are using, like here you can see hello. So double L is coming 2 times. So to guess a password or to crack password, it will be easy. Even if you are increasing the number of characters, we need to check that repetition of same key or same character will not be there. Like here you can see. So if it is double L, it's easy to get here. So at the time of creating a password combination, it will be easy for me to crack. So that is how the password policies is also built in organization. That how strongly you are recommending to your users to create a new password, and what will be the minimum character. Minimum character. Let's suppose we have to create a password at least 12 character plus. Nowadays we are recommend that we can go for the 16 character passwords. Okay, it will be little bit difficult to remember it, but create some kind of logics. Don't use something like your home name, your pet name, a combination of your email ID with having a mobile number and your date of birth, or don't use any family name, something like that you like, and creating a password same. And some of the times what happen, people use the same password to every social media account or the Gmail accounts.
That's me.
Yeah, so that is also not a good practice, because what happened, let's suppose if your email ID got compromised, so the hacker is also get a little idea that if a person is using this kind of password, why not I can try to log in his or her Facebook ID or Instagram ID or any bank access.
Information.
So that will be very easy, because he have worked hard to crack one social media or Gmail password, and then it can easily get the all the access. So that is also not a good practice to use. What you can do is that you can create some logic in your mind that will be easy to remember, and that's how you can create a strong password for every different steps. So I'm just giving you one example. Everybody having some skills that a specific person want to do or want to like, and whenever mainly everybody nowadays listen music or songs, correct? So why not you can take a one sentence of that song which is you like a lot, or the lyrics of that particular title. Okay, so if you go, let's take some, I'm just giving one reference example. If anybody have watched Black Panther Wakanda Forever, so I like the songs
Yeah.
of that music part. So we can take one sentence of that music. Like I like this Con La Brisa music, very good. You can go with the lift up, that you can use it from the Rihanna. So let's suppose if I just take that lift up me, and you can type lyrics. So if you remember the lyrics, you can easily take a one character. Like here we have. So if I just go burning in a hopeless dream, hold me when we go to. So I can take this kind of approach. Now you don't have to provide this full password. It's a very big. Okay, it will take a long time to just type it. But what you can do, if you let's I can reduce this thing also, and then take this part. So why not I can take the first character at the rate, we can take H, and then D we have that you have created, and then maybe we can use hash and some number that you can able to remember it. Let's suppose 5564, or then you can take uh, which platform you are want to create. Let's suppose you want to creating for Facebook, so you can just take as this thing, or you can provide like this way. So now this password become very strong, and if you want to remove this number also, you can use this thing. So I just taken the first sentence character of each word. That is also I have replaced with the symbols like BIAHD and then hash, and after that I'm just using the Facebook. So now to crack this password, I think it will take longer time for a hacker. Correct. So that is a kind of logic you can use for different platforms, and the password should not be same for each scenario, because the favorite song which you are liking, nobody knows. That is a one approach that I have given you. So that's how you can follow a very strong password policies for your own social media platforms, banking details. And after securing yourself, we can also recommend the same practices to the IT organization. Correct. So that is how we can make a strong passwords concept. And same thing here you can see in the password policy management. It is given that we can go for at least 12 character password. It has some numbers, minimum one number of needed, one small character is needed, minimum one upper character is needed, and a special character you can force to take two instead of one. Okay. And then you can even provide the expiration policy. As a IT standard, we follow 90 days password to sustain. After that, you need to change your password, or maybe it will be changed by the admin every 90 days. Okay, if you are using the same password for last 1 year or 2 years, so that is a bad practice we are following. Not for only the IT perspective, but also our personal passwords also. Okay, so that is the things we need to be follow, and you will get an alert before 15 days. And you can also count your history, or you can have a constant login time. And here you can see, let's suppose if you have failed by providing a password after 3 times. So what will happen? Your account will get automatically log out, and it will be locked also. So after 24 hour only you can able to log in again. Like this is also good practice. Login fail message will come, and attempt login will be no restricted. So sometimes what happen, if I able to find your email ID, or I able to find your username, so I can use some brute force technique, or it's a part of password cracking technique, and I will try to log in and again on that website. But the website is not able to detect that after 5 times login try, it will automatically restrict that particular IP address, or restrict that user for the next 2 hours not to log in. So that's how we can stop from the DDoS, and not DDoS, mainly the DOS attack. It's kind of we are continuously trying. So that is called the DOS attack. It's stand for denial of service. So in denial of service, what we are doing, we are trying again and again to perform brute force attack in password. That is how we crack the password. So brute forcing is actually multiple tries we are doing with a different passwords, because we don't know the exactly. Okay, we can take a reference example. I think you all are using a credit card to perform do the payment, correct? And that credit card have some security pin. It can be a 4 digit, or it can be a 6 digit, correct? So at the time of payment, you will providing that pin number, so that the verification of payment will be done, and then only the payment will be credited, that is debited from your credit card, correct? Or maybe if you are using some ATM card to make take out some cash from the ATM. Okay, so there also we can provide this 4 or 6 digit number to take a cash out from the ATM, correct? So if you think, also about the CVV number in credit cards we have. Any idea about that part?
Yeah, I think it's that number that when you put, let's say, the name and the expiration day, and then they ask you for
Yeah.
that CVV number.
Yes, so that is in India we have 3 digits numbers. That is
Yes.
your validation number of your card after providing the 16 digit of your credit card number. So we can see this is just a number. It's a mathematics. Okay, when we combine mathematics with some programming concept, we can easily crack your passwords or your 6 digit number. Correct. Let's just see if you want to see what actually happened in the CVV. It's a 3 digit number, so it will start from 000 and it can goes up to the maximum 999. So in between that there will be some number. Let's suppose we have 564 is there. So if you know the little bit programming concept, any of you have learned any programming thing? Let me know.
No, I don't.
Okay. Okay. So see, if you want to provide the get this particular specific 564. So you're going to start from 00. You will go 001, 002, 003, 4, 5, 6, 7. Then you can reach up to this part. So you will take almost 564 time to try, and then you will get the success. That is a manual approach. If you don't know any programming concept, that is a manual step that we are following. But if we create a loop program, there it will automatically check one by one after iteration in the background calculation, and then you will get this number easily within a 30 seconds. That's how application we build to get the solution. So that is how the password cracking is also work in this case scenario. Okay, so the combination will be maximum how much we have to go? That is 900. I think it is start from 000. So that the total combination will be like 999 combination that we have to follow. Okay, same thing if you go for a digit, 4-digit card number or 6-digit uh, PIN number, it will take like triple nine or 4 times 9 times. So that is how a small program we can build in looping concept like if else condition or while loop condition. And that is we can build in any programming language because that looping concept is work in every programming concepts. So easily within a 1 minute we can crack the password. So we don't have to invest that much time on guessing because automation tools are available. So if this kind of thing is happening on a website, so the website again, it will not, handle. Even you have provided a good password, but if you're not restricting that login management, it will create a load on the website because you are trying multiple times. And due to multiple times, it can easily hack because see how social media is also improved. In the past years, we can able to crack Facebook password, Instagram password easily. Nowadays, we are not performing brute force attack. If we perform brute force attack, my IP address will be blocked for the next 24 hours after few tries. That is how they are protecting to stop from the brute force attack. Okay. So nowadays, if you want to crack social media accounts, we will use the technique called phishing techniques. Okay. So phishing technique is something we can say creating a clone page of a real website. And this is very possibly we perform in corporate via mail IDs. We will create spam mails or in a very smart phishing mail that user will go and click and provide the user credentials and the passwords and username got still. Okay, instead of performing brute force attack, because brute force attack will take a long time. That's the thing. So it's a kind of clone page creating.
Yep.
Yeah, I can hear you. Okay, so this kind of techniques help in terms of hacking, and this all things you can also notice on Splunk on the real-time monitoring perspective when we are collecting logs for a web server. Web server is something where we are hosting a website. Last time we have seen only Windows system logs, but if some server is running, so the logs we will integrate on Splunk, and then we are monitoring on real time. I will showcase in the upcoming class. We will take a sample log of web server and then we will do the analysis. That is a part of incident response we have in this case scenario. Okay, so you can see you are also understanding the behavior about a hacker, what they do. And of course, at the same time as a defender, you have to deal with the defending approach. So you are right now in the part of defense approach part because this tool and this mechanism is comes into the defending part or defense security approach. Okay. So yeah, there you can set, you can provide a lockout and then you can simply save the settings for the password. Okay, so that is how we can do. Right now I'm just giving the default approach. So the password policy is in save. And yeah, that's how you can do. So any doubt in perspective of users and authentication area? So you all can
Everything is clear.
yeah, any question is there?
No, sir. Everything is very you explain everything.
Okay, so that is the how we are doing the Splunk part one by one. So this is a section that we have covered today. You all you can do practice or create users and do experiment mainly with this role creation part. As I have showcased you that here we have this capabilities. So in capabilities, what you can do is that you can creating a new role. So in that role, you can go and check what kind of capabilities if we are not providing. So how much a user can access it and how much it can affect. Mainly what happen, like in Splunk also can be hackable or it can be impact the performance. Okay, this is what we call as a user privilege uh, manipulation. So if we are not providing a proper privilege access, or even if you have provided a proper privilege access, there is a chance that user can manipulate it. So let's suppose I have created a one user admin and given full access. Then I have created a normal user and here I have just given the read access of Splunk dashboard. Then I created user 1. Let's go with the user 1 and this will be user 2. And here I created that access of Splunk with some deletion of dashboard or maybe the search and query contain. Okay. So by mistakenly, if this user, right now this user we have created and some new employee join for SOC level 1 and this is a perspective of SOC level 3. You have already reached at a SOC level 3 or as a Splunk admin you are working. So you have got a new employee and you are creating a new user for that particularly and instead of giving user 1 role access mistakenly you have given the user 2 access. Okay, maybe at that time you are not properly in that work mode or didn't check or even you have checked but maybe by mistakenly if you have clicked that capability option and you given the user 2 access to that new employee. Okay, so that user can manipulate or play with your full infrastructure of Splunk because it can delete any queries or some dashboard that is already created for client. Okay, and the dashboard access you also have given to the client or customer who can actually just watch that my resources, my infra part is working properly or not. But if you are deleted, it will directly impact the business. So it is like a very critical thing while managing these users and their permissions of the access on Splunk. Correct. So that thing you can play with this, scenario. You can create multiple roles. There is no limitation is there. You can limitize, give the access about the capabilities like what a user can do. It can create, it can delete, it can just watch the dashboard of Splunk or have only the search and query options. That is a part of, admin because that is what we call as an admin role you are, providing. So yeah, that is a scenario you can do practice today. I will upload the recording for today's session. You can go through and any question and query comes, do let me know.
Okay, I would like to ask you: is there like a for the user can you go move back where we saw the capabilities the
Yeah, yeah.
okay. Okay, okay, good. So are there some like, let me just say like a level 1 and you're the admin. Are there some default, I want to see like maybe the default capabilities that are given to the level 1 at this point?
Level 1 as a default, what you can, give as a
Yes.
default thing is that change own password, change authentication so that a person which is using as an end user as a level
Yeah.
1 they can change their own password and then do. Then edit part you can we cannot provide for the deployment of server deployment for a client that we cannot give. Then you can go to check addition part we will not provide for the SOC level 1. Only they can do little bit query related part that they have to schedule or search query in the log files. So that option we can provide like for this thing. And then you can go not any protocol we need to change no the authentication code we will give the access features if you want to give we can give that much only or even that
Okay.
also we don't have to provide. Search options we can provide so that it can do analysis part. They can give input will be like upload some sample data. That thing license related stuff we will not provide. for them.
Okay.
Then you can go for health related data they can provide, because it's just a list. We are not giving edit action, but giving the list that this other information is available. So you can get a little idea that how the infrastructure works. And then a PDF information will be provided, so they can generate a report and submit in their specific time shift when they are working. The metrics information we can give, because metrics is like a not merge bucket. Metrics is like a dashboard. The graphs that we will see, I will showcase how to create graphs, that part. And then running schedule,
Schedule search.
search part we can provide. And yeah, upload
Okay.
lookup files. So these are the specific restriction we can give to specific user. Now this thing is already decided by the company who are you're gonna work, because they have a list of set of policies. So according to that, if you assign as an admin role, of course you will be the decider that what you want to give and what not. But in some companies, if already the environment is set up, so you don't have to be worried about it. But let's suppose if in some new company, they have to deploy from the scratch. So then you will be the own decider for this decision in that case scenario. So there will be two scenario can be happened. First will be like you have joined a company there, already Splunk setup is done, configuration is done. You have to go manage and then assign a role management you have to do. Okay, so that is like a half part you already done by the organization. You're just going and doing the management part as an admin role perspective. So there you're gonna not learn that much in terms of deployment and configuration part. But let's suppose if you have joined some startup company, they are using the all the infrastructure on premise, but later they have decided like let's go to the Splunk migration to set up and monitor as a centralized log system. So there you're gonna learn a lot, because you will understand the network architecture. Then you will understand how to integrate all the infrastructure on a Splunk tool for the log management and event management. Then you will creating a multiple roles to assign different monitoring uh, roles to the specific user. So you're gonna learn there more, and you will be the decider for that part. So as a Splunk expert, you will be responsible for whatever the action you will take on that same solution. Correct. So
Okay.
the more you're gonna play with this capabilities, you can understand more. So try creating different scenarios in your mind. So that will help a lot. Yeah. Yeah. Any question you are asking, let me know.
Yeah. Can you just do the same like you explain for capabilities? Can you just do the same for index and restrictions?
Oh yeah. So here you can see change password. We have selected a limited part. So this is created. Let's create a new role.
Yeah.
Okay, I think this is not we can create for okay. New user role. So here you can see this created new user role with a limited new capabilities only 40, while admin have 119 capabilities. And we have just given the new user role only 19 capabilities. Okay, no other part. So after that, you can go to the here into the settings, go to the user, and then you can create a new user. Let's suppose some new employee is there, so we'll get a new amp1, then provide the name like amp1 to email ID, then password. Okay, now here you can see, remember the password policy I have changed from 8 character to the 12 character. So you can see this is how it is checking, and it is asking that I need to provide 2 special character. So now we can use this is okay. So this will be force for each user, and any user when their password is expired, so when they need to create a new password, so this policy should be matched for their user also. Okay, first time I am creating a password for new user. After that, they will get the login details. Then they can also change the password, but they have to follow this password policy. So that's how you are following the IT security standards in the organization. And here you can assign that I want to go with the new user role. Okay, assigning as a new user. And right now I will just disable this thing and save the user. So this user is created by the name called new amp1. So I will go to the Firefox. I will log out from this hello user and then log in with the new amp1. So it will be like new amp1, then the password and login. Yeah. Okay. EMP1. So I have logged in with this part. So now you can see we have a limited part. I cannot add data. Even you can see the setting option. There is no option about the user role option is not there. Data. You can see this is the setting option for hello. And if you go to the admin user access in the setting option, we have multiple options like data related is there. We have distributed environment is there. We have some setting related to system. But these options are totally neglected from the new employee. You can just do the searching model part and you can enable your own token or you can manage your own password or authentication method. That's your part of the job you can do. But there is no content related to server management. There is no control for the data input or forwarding related part because this is the thing is only handled by the admin. As the end user, you don't give that access. So that option is there. Even you can see there is monitoring console we have in the admin. You can add new data, but that options we don't have for the new employee that we have created. So this is how you can restrict the contain part in that case scenario. Here also you can see we only have the search and reporting and gateway option is there. But as an admin, if you go to the main dashboard, you will get multiple more features. Like here you can see add team member, manage permission, configure mobile device, upgrade anything you want to upgrade it. But on this part, you can see no add user content is there, nothing like that feature. So that is limited feature we can have. So that is very important that how you are delegating feature to the new employee, which is coming as a analyst role to just do the monitoring part. Okay. So this kind of restrictions you can play with. Of course, when you go one by one each capabilities, then you will get a lot idea that can we provide the edit action, can we cannot. So that's how the thing is in actually work. So they're actually the main part of in the role part that we will decide this thing. Okay, so I think now you got a little idea. Okay, so we have 14 things. It is very limited access we are giving. Comparing with the admin role perspective, you can see. Okay, so that's how a thing is work. As a normal user, you have 29 capabilities.
Can I reduce the 29 capabilities to like maybe 14 if I want to?
You can increase or you can decrease also. You can go to the edit option and then from there you can check the capabilities you want to delete it and then create a new part. So the total access you have if you are working as a administration account at that time. But if you are working as another user, so you have to request to the admin that I want this feature. So they will enable from their end for you that particular part. So yeah, that is how the resource allocation is actually going on this Splunk tool platform.
Yeah. Quick question.
Yeah.
Yes. So can you like let's say can you clone we can clone you
Yeah.
can we clone a user and maybe edit the name?
No. Cloning of user is not possible. We can clone the roles here, but we cannot clone a user because user you have to create again and new because it is very simple.
Okay.
Information it is asking. See here if you go, you cannot do. Okay, clone option is available, but this thing feature is comes. Let's suppose in some scenarios it will come. Mainly we will go with the fresh to create. While because cloning is actually happen if we have same you can say not mail IDs but password you can create if you don't have that much time to perform each individual users to create a new ID with a new user. So what you can do, you can clone it with the same password and just give this feature that we have. So let's suppose we can go to clone option and there you can see. So this feature, if you want to go, if you don't want to type again and again the same password, so at that time you can use it. Also, you don't have to select multiple assigned roles at that case scenario. So this will reduce your work part instead of going individually creating roles again and again. So in that case
Okay.
scenario, cloning feature will help a lot, but it will be recommended as from my side. I can recommend, then don't follow the clone part. But because what happens sometimes that if mistakenly if I have given admin role and I'm creating a same clone to create a new role, so we didn't follow because let's suppose I created and added everything here. Okay, like this way. Okay, and at the time of cloning, I didn't watching this all the features that is given, and mistakenly if admin is also given as a role, so what happened that user become as an admin user, and that can impact, can
Mhm.
delete personal data, companies private data or the client data. So that you have to follow. Even we are doing a clone, so we have to strictly check what kind of role assessment we are providing for that end user, because you only the single person are working as an admin. No second user will become as an admin until and unless there will be some SLA is assigned into the organization. The SLA means the service level agreement between the customer and client. That for a specific Splunk
Okay.
enterprise, how many admin user we are managing. Okay. So that is the thing we have to follow properly. Cloning is helping just to automate and reduce that individually we go one by one creating the same username and password, instead of we just create a clone and then create a same setting. Same setting is mainly this part only we follow. Okay. Individually don't go and one by one selecting. That's the part. So it's a critical part. That's why we have different scenarios will be available. So that scenario I'm just giving the chances that
Okay.
like it's good we can follow, it will reduce our workload, but while reducing the workload we have a very strict responsibilities are available, as the whole infrastructure of Splunk is maintained and sustained by you as an admin part. So you have to work carefully. Even we are doing some automation technique also, we have to double assure that thing, any activity you are giving, because this all things we are mentioning in the monthly report or bi-weekly report when we are presenting to the client, like how they are managing the all the infrastructure, what kind of alert is come, how we have resolved that alert via ticket management tools. So as a SOC role, you have to follow this all the activities. So yeah, that is one part of role. In a company, we also follow. Like we in our company, we are also providing SOC services, but not using the Splunk. We are using a open source tool. So there we give monthly report to the client. We have our meeting in which we will update that in this month how many alert we have got from take a similar example like a Splunk, and how many we have resolved, what is the timeline to resolve that each ticket, what is the consistency we are following, because it's a 24 into 7 continue monitoring part. So we run all the three shift, like we have divided three shift like morning, afternoon shift and night shift. So there is a three people who working on different three shift and monitoring one of our client all the alerts and then solving that thing. So there we follow monthly report that will be goes to the client, and we also give the bi-weekly report also, like after 50 days, that will be related to events and vulnerability details, like if you have found some new vulnerability or not, if somebody is performing attack on their organization, so can we able to detect and mitigate that thing on real time. So that is a part of SOC role we follow as a SOC service provider company. Okay, so yeah, multiple things come. So the more we go in depth in each feature, you're gonna learn lots of things, and I will showcase, give you some R case scenario, with replica, like what we do as a industry experts while giving this kind of services. Correct. So yeah, I think this is all good. You all can do practice to explore little bit with different features, and anywhere you got stuck, so you can ask questions. Okay. Yeah. Any other question, query? Anybody have?
Can you explain the rule of the token one more, please?
Yeah. So token is particularly creating for a specific login time perspective. Like you are using this token to access to some new system you want to log in. So at that time you are using this token to log in, and after a specific time it will it's kind of a two-factor authentication, you just say. For that perspective only we are using, like by default we are just logging with the username and password. Okay, after that we want to log in and again, so there you can use this authentication code to verify. So here it is an issue by admin. This is a token ID. So this token ID will verify your system as a trusted system, and then you can log in, and then you can use it. So that is work as a backend part. We just have to create at once. That's the thing is there. Okay. So there, you can try it. You can create a new user, creating a new token there. Let's suppose instead of admin user who will receive this token, instead of there, you can, create for a new employee user, create for purpose login, we are creating a specific time you want to, give. So we are just giving that this will be enabled for next 24 hours, and then you can, create that token. Okay. So you can, just copy this token for validation part, or you can take as a backup because it will only active for the next 24 hours. Then you can share with that particular user through mail ID to get the access or verification thing. Then only it is in a use. Not that much use is there. It's kind of, double verification, you can say, after the password. Okay. So that you can,
So
have. Yeah.
a
Tell me.
token can be accessed just by the administrator.
No, administration can create it for different
Mhm.
users to verify
Okay.
when employees comes. So they will log in with a new account. So there will be some system is assigned. Let's suppose the system is not trusted by the company, but they want in a login. So at that time, we will provide a token to verify that this is a original user or not, who is in a login to that dashboard. So only admin can
Okay.
create a token, but that token is used for every user perspective to just verify that user is valid or not. That's the thing.
So,
So
so the token is used only once when there's a new user,
yeah,
or how does it work? Oh, okay.
this will be used for a specific time. Like here, I just given you that specific expiry date
Mm-hmm.
perspective. So in the that we can decide as an admin that you want to go with the relative time or you want to go with a specific apart. Like today is 21. Let's suppose this token is valid to next 25.
25. Okay.
So that is specific timeline only the token will be valid. After that it will be expire automatically.
Mhm.
And again, if you want to use that thing, so as an admin, you need to create a new and then provide them. So that's how
Yes.
this will work. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. My question was, okay, does the admin provide a token only when there's a new user?
For the new user as well as for the older user also, if they are log in with the different internet access. Let's
Okay.
suppose a user is right now working in the US, but after for a Christmas vacation the
Mm-hmm.
user goes to UK, not in
Okay.
UK, maybe in Canada, and from there
Yes.
they want to access to monitor if some kind of new alert is come on Splunk to delegate that activity. So there we can provide a new authentication token through their mail ID, and then they can use it to just verify that they are working from a secure environment, that channel is secure, your laptop is also secure. That is a thing. That's
Oh,
for
okay. Thank you.
purpose we use. So yeah, these are the scenarios in real time it can be used for that part. So yeah. So
Thank you.
okay. So you all can do practice in this part because we have covered one section. This part we have covered. Then in the upcoming days we will cover one by one each section. Okay, like
Okay.
it's not like every
Okay.
day we just go. Yeah.
Okay, but please, I don't still understand. I don't still understand how you said, for example, if a user is in Canada, how is the token used to validate that the user is? How is the token used to make sure that the user is connecting from a secure location or the laptop is connected to a secure network, like you said?
Uh, for that, there is a two option is available that whenever we give the access to end employees, so there will be a VPN connection. They will connect first. That is the first option. First, they will connect with the VPN that is provided by the company. That is the first level is clear. So let's take example. We have OpenVPN. One software is available. Okay, so from there they will connect VPN and it will become a part of it becomes part of company's network. Okay, so that is the one thing we have become. After that, The second will be the auth code. Not auth code, the token. So from there, a new employee or a user can log in and authenticate that code. And after use, it will be expired. So that is, login access, we will verify. Because you are working as a remotely, and I don't know that in which location you are working and which kind of internet service provider you are using it. So that internet service provider is secure or not, we don't know. Okay, so over the internet, we provide the VPN access connection. So the person will become a part of company network. Okay, over a public. So I think everybody knows about the VPN, correct?
Yes.
So that tunneling concept it in use. So in tunneling, what happened? The data is transferred into encrypted format over public network. So that's how we can verify that the user is securely using our connection, and the end user laptop is also secure. And then they are checking the dashboard, monitoring the Splunk logs. That thing we do. So this is like this case scenario is mainly for the work from home persons and remote jobs persons, they do follow. Then only we can trust as an end user. So this is the validation is work in detail in organization, and a small part of that thing is help us, that is feature is given into the Splunk specifically. Yeah. So definitely. So we'll go further in the next session, and then we'll jump to the little bit about data part. Last time I just showcased you data input in which only local system data we have fetch. Now we will take a reference example of forwarding, where we will take one Linux system and then forward data from Linux system to the Splunk, and then see how to do the indexing, and then how we will do the research, and then create a report. So we'll go one by one in that case scenario in the next session class.